Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Sports Card Advantage podcast. It is May 14th at 3:42 p.m. This is episode, I think it's 59. Hopefully it's 59. And it is a wonderful Saturday. And the person who decided to join us once again, Mr. Bunk, is back for this week. What's up, buddy?
What's up, man? How you doing?
You well rested after taking a week off?
No, I'm still thoroughly exhausted.
Still thoroughly exhausted.
Bags under my eyes in the camera right now.
It's not what the people want to hear. You abandoned them last week. They were left all by themselves.
Father's Day weekend, doing my my duties.
Dude, they were left all by themselves. Had to deal with just me.
Yeah, so there was all buy this card and that card. I didn't even listen to the episode, to be honest with you. I gotta get on that.
I love how you support us so much, and you go to other websites that aren't ours to use services that we offer that are on our website. All right, here we go. Just some quick Sports Card Advantage podcast business. Contest is still going on. For those of you that are new, that aren't aware of it, all you got to do is go to Apple or Spotify and leave us a review, grab a screenshot, and email us info@sportscardadvantage.com. Prizes will be either a VIP pass to National or a $200 slab or a $200 break credit to the breaker of your choice. Definitely gotten an influx of these entries over the last couple of weeks, so thank you all for providing those. Special shout out to Gary. Gary dropped us a review, sent us an email, and wants to meet up at National. So anybody else that's going to be at National, drop us an email, info@sportscardadvantage.com. We'll try to coordinate and pick a time and a place to meet up with everybody. I think we're going to bring some T-shirts and stuff as well, so we'll throw you guys some stuff when we meet up. So yeah, plain and simple.
Discount bin hunting guy.
Yeah. If you want Bunk's Dollar Box 101 at National, by all means, meet up with us, and he can take you on that adventure.
Trading, lots of trading. Got to bring trading back.
Yeah, well, they will have plenty of trade nights, so it's just a question of whether or not anybody wants your donkeys for whatever you're going to want.
I'll bring the good. I'll bring the good stuff for trading. No one wants Adam Dunn.
Yeah, zero.
Although when I go to bid on low end stuff, somebody's bidding it up.
That mysterious Adam Dunn's mom is bidding you up.
There's a lot of them. 462 career home runs, guy.
Yeah. Anyway.
Highly wanted.
Anyway, moving along. All right. So yeah, as I said, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, drop a review, send us an email, info@sportscardadvantage.com. Also, check out the website, sportscardadvantage.com. Some good tools on there for those of you that are buying and selling online. And if you're buying and selling on eBay, some great tools to set reminders and also calculate profits and losses. And then for those of you that are new, some great blog articles about the hobby. Do you have any other Sports Card Advantage podcast business that you'd like to add, sir?
I can't match your eloquence.
Fair enough. I have a comment, but I will keep it in my head and not say it. All right, moving right along. So we had some interesting things happen in the financial world this past week, and we've been getting a lot of questions asking about whether or not the same things will be impacting the hobby. And what I'm referring to is the crypto market, NFT markets. Those absolutely crashed. There was bloodbaths everywhere. Some altcoins dropped as much as 80%, literally over the course of 48 hours. These were well-established, well-funded coins and projects. Luna being the big one. So that literally lost 80% of its value. Avalanche lost like 60 to 70% of its value, and then the rest 30 to 40%. So the logical question that we're getting is, since sports cards are also an alternative asset, are we anticipating seeing a similar type of drop off in the hobby. So I'll kick it to you for anecdotal. You're a lot more in touch with people in Discord, on Twitter, in the trenches, and then I'll go over some of what I see in the numbers.
Yeah, I mean, big picture, when you word it like that, sports cards have been around for how many decades now, and they go up, they go down, but they generally, I would say, more so than crypto, which we know is highly volatile and probably still in its infancy of existence. Sports cards are still relatively stable.
Yeah.
So while yes, I see some things not going for as much as they should, and there's a lot of other factors going on right now as to why that's the case. I think generally speaking, I'm not overly concerned about it being an asset class I should worry about.
Well, what are you seeing as far as, when you said not going for as much as they should for other reasons? What are you referring to with that?
I think some of the more modern, middle of the road prospects that people would typically hop on or kind of spend a little more than they should on to hop. There are people really waiting for solid plays or where they're sticking. If, for example, if you look at the most stable cards there can be, the 11 update Trout, the 89 upper deck Griffey, the any of Pujols rookie cards, and you look at the charts over them for the last year or two, they're all the same.
Yeah.
There's been no change in those cards. They're moving right along. So no, I haven't seen anything crazy. I think it's more just some more of the ultra modern stuff that maybe a year or two ago, when things were a little nutty, people were jumping on. Yeah, they're pulling back a bit on some of those things.
Yeah, I mean, especially chasing prospects. People have less disposable income, or people are not looking to buy things that may be volatile, like prospects. Cash is king right now. With high gas prices, high food prices, shortages of products, supply chain issues, et cetera, et cetera. Cash is going to be king. And sitting liquid right now is not the worst thing in the world. More than likely, there's not going to be a hobby bull run over the course of the next 6 months, 12 months, until some of this stuff gets settled out in the rest of the economy. So it's definitely something. Look for bottoms, look for things that aren't going to be less volatile, vintage, retired, guys can't get hurt, can't have bad seasons. Because some of that stuff, people are looking for any excuse to dump if they need the cash.
Yeah, agreed.
So I'm gonna take a deep dive into the nerdery here and actually look at some of the numbers and give you my opinion from a charting / market standpoint. So I personally think that the hobby's already had its crash. It already went up and then came down. So the example we're going to use here is the 2003 LeBron James rookie card. It's a base card, pops 2000 and some change, last sold for 1920. So if we look at what this card has done over the last couple of years, we saw the pump October of 2020. It peaked in February of 2021 at $10,000 to $15,000, and the last sale is $1,900. So you're literally talking 80 to 90% drop off in value, settling in at $1,900. And then if you look over the course of the last 2 to 3 months, it built a bottom and tested that bottom multiple times and has not broken down through or sold below that bottom. So I don't think that unless we go into World War III or things get much, much worse than they already are, that you're going to see all of a sudden like a same correlation to crypto, 30, 40, 50% drop-offs in these prices, just because there's still people out there that have the money to be able to buy into these cards, and there's not enough pop on some of these to just sell. So I think maybe you see 5, 10, 15%, but I don't think you're going to look at any major drop. And once again, look at some other numbers. We'll look at the indexes on Card Ladder. Over the last quarter, they're saying there's been a 13% drop off in their total index. I think in certain cases that may be a little bit embellished just by the way that they track some things. But if you look at the individual sports, basketball down 3%, baseball up 2%, football down 8%, hockey up 1.5%. I mean, the correlations are simple. Hockey, baseball,
seasonality.
Yeah, in season, football out of season, basketball just about over. And then yes, there's red in other things.
And who has this?
This is Card Ladder.
Okay.
Soccer, wrestling, golf, Pokemon, entertainment, racing, it's all down. It's the economy, but nothing's really down more than 5 to 6% total. And yes, there will be individual cards that are down a lot more than that, but at the same time, I think that the crash, quote unquote, sell off, whatever it may be in the hobby, has already happened, unless the economic conditions change much worse for where we are now. So if you are long-term holder, I would not panic in particular, especially if you're looking to holding on to cards for years at a time. And if you're a flipper, it's just going to be a situation of get in and get out. Holding for 3 or 4 months right now may not be the best way to go, just because market conditions can change on you. And you could be left making less or potentially breaking even or losing if the market sells off 10 or 15%. It could affect you as far as what you can make on a flip, especially if you're not grading.
Yeah, I think your point is awesome about the prospects right now. The stability of the LeBron card you just mentioned versus it's the number 3 prospect in baseball and he's in 2022 Bowman, and I'm going to send 30 of them out to get graded.
Yeah, like the Anthony Volpe card that we bought. That's a perfect example. We bought it a couple months ago. Prices, the economy hadn't taken that much of a turn. Things weren't as bad as they are today. We bought the card for $250. Now it's selling for $175. So yes, obviously that's a fairly sizable drop off, but at the same time of year, prospect, baseball, it all makes sense, and it's not necessarily a sell off in the market. It's all seasonality and time of year.
Yeah, and he's not exactly raking either.
Yeah.
I mean, there are guys in the minors right now, they're absolutely raking, and their cards are showing, so people have more faith in that right now. Whereas before, I'd say a year or two ago, you could take almost any top 25 prospect, and just because they were on that list, they were doing better than maybe they should, or better than their stats would provide, suggest they should be doing. Now it's straight up, people are looking.
Yeah, absolutely. And, that's what happens in these times. People want to hold on to their money. They'd rather have cash in the bank than cardboard.
But look at it now more than ever. When we're part of it, people are talking about cards more than ever in the last 50 years. It's everywhere. You heard it on. So people know to look at minor league box scores now and look at these lists, and you get all sorts of data. You go to Fangraphs and get all this data. You can see who's a 62, everything you want, and make your own decisions on, this guy looks like he could be a stud.
Yeah.
It's at every piece of information is at your fingertips now.
Absolutely. And it's only going to continue to be that way and be more. There'll be more and more people that are writing, talking, et cetera about it. But I think right now some of it is definitely more economic conditions. You got to drive and you got to pay $5 a gallon. It's like, well, I got to get to work, not buy this Marcelo Mayer prospect card for $2,000. That may not pay off for you in a long time.
Well, what's helped me over the last week is people just want cash in hand so bad. I'm not even talking about high end stuff. I'm talking about $10, $15, $20 cards to fill sets. I'm all making nice offers, and they're all getting accepted.
Yeah.
Well, below comps, people just want that card. I don't care about it. Done, gone.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've gotten a lot of nice deals over the last, week or so on set needs.
Yeah, if you got cash in hand, looking for best offers on eBay is not a bad way to try to pick up deals. If people need cash, if they got to pay bills, if they got to feed, the family, and they need the money, you're making offers, you may be able to pick up some deals. So it's definitely something to look at. Going to shows, guys that have been holding inventory, really hoping that markets will turn around, that may have been holding stuff for the last 12 months, maybe more motivated than ever to sell now because they need the money. So, keep your eyes open. It's definitely cash is king right now. And if you got it and can spend it, you should be able to pick up deals.
What if you're holding 100 Zion still?
Oof.
Are you?
If I'm holding 100 Zions, I will wait another 2 months to see where he gets.
Might as well, right?
See where he gets traded. You've already
ends up on the Knicks.
You've already endured the biggest amount of pain that you're probably going to endure with him.
Yeah, you've already took it.
Yeah, if you're still,
you already sat on the pineapple. So
yeah, if you're still holding, sat on the pineapple. This guy says, if you're still holding. I would wait to see what his trade status is, because one of two things is going to happen. A, he gets traded. Hopefully he gets traded to a big market team like the Knicks, and then the hobby's going to go crazy for Zion. Or B, he goes back to New Orleans, and New Orleans made the playoffs this year without him. So and they pushed to almost win a playoff series without him. So if he comes back and adds, to that mix, they have a chance to be good. So either way, I think there'll be some Zion optimism, provided he has no other setbacks or weird things, like shows up at a charity event at 500 pounds. I think Zion will push up over the summer.
Yeah, I'm looking. I was trying to look up quick his Optic Hollow 10 to see. I know you.
The card that we're sitting on.
Yeah, I was curious if you remember what it was like, say, a month or so ago versus now.
It's been fluctuating like 615 to 700, I think.
Oh, geez, I would have thought it'd be even lower than that now.
660 last sale.
Yeah, all right, so there's another card that, to your point of, are things going south? At this point, this guy's so in limbo. I'd expect that card to have gone south, and it hasn't.
Well, it got down.
Other than that initial, as you spoke to, that big drop off already.
Yeah, it got down to 400 in February and then bounced off that like crazy. Sold for as much as 800 in March, and then has settled in that $600 to $700 range. But I mean, before the season, the card was selling for 1,600. So once he was hurt, it lost half its value. It lost 75% of its value and it's picked back up again. So I think, that card especially, pop 500. If he gets traded to the Knicks, you could see a good surge on that. You may be able to pick up 20-30%. All right, we'll move it right along. I was really hoping that we would never have to talk about these jackasses ever again on this podcast, but we are going to. And
they're legends at this point.
The jackasses that I'm referring to are the wonderful folks at Backyard Breaks. And the only reason why we're talking about them is because one, Josh Luber, has decided to participate in a major break with them, actually taking place tonight on May 14th. They're breaking a 2012 Prism case for $4,500 a spot. Prism case.
Pineapples.
Yeah. A Prism case sells for roughly, depending on where you get it, anywhere from like $125,000 to $175,000. I've seen a few on eBay for that like $150,000 to $190,000 range. Aside from the fact, and I will clear the floor for you to rant on this, as far as what's in the 2012, what's actually in the product, as far as its value is concerned. It's interesting to us that Luber is going to associate himself with these guys. And what is your take as if you have to put a Mount Rushmore as far as hobby kingmakers? Luber's on it. As far as the future of this, the next 10 years, as far as who's going to shape this hobby. I mean, Luber, Nat Turner are on Rushmore as far as like.
Well, what is this? Some sort of collab, or he's just going on with them, or he's helping promote it?
He's going on with them.
His case.
I don't think so.
Going on with him.
I mean, I'll look at his Instagram real quick, but I don't think he's promoting.
I don't know. I think at the end of the day, those whether you like them or not, they have a following, right?
40,000 strong on Instagram.
Right. So if you're an influencer, you're one of these kings. You're going where people are watching, whether you hate the guys or not. If people are turning them on, I mean, I'll never turn them on, but if 40,000 are following and may turn it on, they're going to tune in, and they see Luber, they may tune in. So if I'm Luber, okay, free eyeballs.
Yeah, but at the same time,
does he need those eyeballs?
Yeah, that was good.
Josh Luber need those eyeballs.
That was going to be my next question. Does Fanatics, Tops, Josh Luber, any of the above need the eyeballs of their audience?
Well, but let's be honest, those guys, if in real life, I'm probably not friends with, right? I'm probably they don't seem like that I'd get along with.
You don't hang out with guys who wear half shirts?
So I just don't lead me down a bad path.
I was trying to tee you up for that one.
No. So, I mean, they don't seem like people that I'm hanging out with on a daily basis. So, but however, there's a massive crowd that think they're cool, right? There's definitely an age group and certain people that love these guys.
So that brings up the question that do they represent the generational divide in the hobby? Because it seems like your 25 and under guys are rocking with them. And anybody that's probably 30-ish and up in the hobby seems to despise them.
I think that's 100% accurate and fair. Yes. So, but at the same time, if we want the hobby to keep going, we need, we all know the kids now are not the same as we were when we were 18 to 25 years old. That it's different. From work ethic right down the road, they're different now for whatever reason. So the collector's different now too for a variety of reasons.
Yeah, I'm actually curious if you even are there really even collectors of the next generation? These kids are so obsessed with the flip culture and making money.
Sneakers.
Yeah,
I know.
I mean, and don't get me wrong, I'm sure there are some like 8, 9, 10-year-old kids that have their favorite player and they probably don't have that mindset of I need to flip this and, so-and-so is my favorite player and I have a bunch of his cards. But I think a lot of these kids, I mean, it's crazy. You look at, Collector 2 when he shows his kids trade night and the room is full. Like there's a card store in, Raleigh where I live called Oak City. And, they had their kids trade night last night and they literally spilled out into the parking lot from what you saw on Instagram. But at the same time, is like these kids are flipping and like basically trying to screw over other kids to get better cards and make money. So Backyard represents that let's fucking go screaming culture of the younger generation. And these kids aspire to be, unfortunately, like these guys. So Luber is hitching his wagon to Whatnot and these guys to participate with this.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. I think they're going after a demographic, and they're going to drive it because they know at this point. Let's be fair. My age range, if you're still interested and you're still collecting, are you going away? Are those clowns and going on Whatnot and that stuff? Am I going anywhere because of that? No, I'll just tune it out.
And you're also not buying boxes either.
No, I'm not. They're too expensive.
Yeah. So, if you're not buying boxes, and you have a family, you have a wife, you can't buy into all the breaks that you want to buy into. I mean, they need that 22 to 28-year-old audience. I have a job, but I live at home with my parents and have disposable income.
No responsibilities. Blow it all on cards. Yes.
Exactly. I mean, they need those people to be buying these products, buying into breaks and participating with that. But it's
I agree. But let's talk about $4,500 spot for
please, by all means, rant your way.
No, I'm not gonna rant. I mean, let's be honest. If you're buying into that break, you have disposable income.
A lot of it.
Yeah, you the chances are, I would say, 27, 26. You're not even coming close to getting your value back.
No.
And you're going to have to grade to get your value back in most cases.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we did a quick search on eBay before we jumped on here. And other than if you pull a top gold So I still have it up. So 2012.
Yeah, the low numbered parallels.
Yeah, you need a gold parallel of a big name player to make your money back without having to grade it. So, for example, 2012 Clay Gold out of 10 went BGS 9.5 went for $30,000. A Steph Silver PSA 10 went for $13,000. So that card raw, if it's not a 10, you're probably breaking even on that $4,500. I don't think you'll get, much more than that raw for that card. Larry Bird Gold, 12 grand, BGS 9.5. LeBron Silver, BGS 9.5, 10,000.
Yeah, I mean, all your big name Prism Silvers from the first Prism release are going to do well.
If they're 10s.
9s aren't doing well?
So Kobe Silver, PSA 10, 8,600. So if that card's a 9, you're not making
you're still coming out south of your.
Yeah, you're not making your 4,500 back.
Yeah, but listen, I mean, to grab first Prism Silvers and there's more than one team in a random that you'd be happy to get, but you're pretty much buying in and you're sending off what you get. Anything of any name, you're sending off, hoping for a 10, and see if you grade your way out.
Yeah, I mean that's basically where you're at. I'm actually.
And if you get really lucky and you hit a monster, you're talking 5 figures.
Yeah, I'm trying.
But even so, the majority of that break is getting donutted.
Yeah, they're going to lose money.
There are legit $3 autographs out of that, and a lot of them out of that set. And they're going to be in the case. Let's be honest.
That would have 100% piss you off. So I mean, if you look at like the gem rates on some of this stuff, LeBron gem rate 34%, Kobe gem rate 30%, Clay gem rate 41% out of that set. So even if you pull the card, you still need to get lucky that you're going to get a 10 in order to grade your way out. Otherwise, you literally just paid $4,500 for entertainment.
Right.
And maybe you'll make, if you're lucky, you'll make half your money back if you're lucky.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know how many people are going to be watching that open?
I'm sure there's going to be a shit ton.
Probably a ton.
Yeah, their audience is rabid. I mean,
yeah, they entertain people. That's the part of it. I can't knock on them. Other than the whole gold T-Law thing was pretty sketchy. So yeah. I have a negative opinion about that. But otherwise, listen, they're doing something right. Yeah.
They literally, actually, they're live now. They have 41,000 followers on Twitch, 40+ thousand on Instagram, and 230,000 followers on TikTok now.
There you go. That's why he's on.
Yep.
And I think not any other reason.
Yeah, I mean, but if you look at the comments and people try to bash them, and then they have their fans that are coming to their rescue to, say, call them haters and whatever else. But I don't know. I don't like the way they run their breaks. I think some of the stuff they do is shady. Some of the stuff they do is off camera, and I think they just get away with it because they scream and move around and jump around, and the younger audience isn't like the older audience where they require everything to be on camera and everything to be above board.
Well, right. Whereas my attitude is, I don't care. Other people are, I don't want them not to like me.
Yeah.
So there are people out there that'll say good things about them because they're part of that circle, and they're like, oh, I don't want to bash them because I don't want to risk the fact that this person who doesn't even know who the hell you are, nor do they care, they just want you to watch. You might not be friendly with them, or you might turn them off.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't care what you think about me. I'm going to do what I want, say what I want, have my own opinions because it is what it is. But the younger generation, that's the way it is. It's like they don't want to be they don't want to turn you off, or they're walking on eggshells, so they don't care.
I need my get off my lawn button.
Nah.
Well, we'll see.
Speaking of Clint Eastwood, I think he's 92 in a couple weeks.
I guess. Shout out to Clint. In the off chance that somebody who knows him is listening. Well, we'll continue with one more topic on Backyard.
What do we got?
Recently, they pulled the LeBron Logoman, which was the biggest chase card in
I couldn't see it. The screen was shaking so violently, I threw up and I turned it off. So is that what it was?
Yes, that's what it was. It was the LeBron Triple Logoman, the card that Ken Golden and Drake were hunting and just ripping case after case after case of flawless. They pulled it. So my question to you here is it coincidence that they pulled it? Do you feel that in certain cases, bigger breakers get bigger cards, i.e. Leighton, i.e. I mean now Backyard, Platinum, guys that are just ripping, have big audiences and ripping a ton. Does Panini or Topps reward them by giving them some of the bigger chase cards?
I mean, it would be very, very bad if that ever got out as being true. But to be fair, you watch some of these release day, release week videos from some of these big guys, that tends to be the feeling that I get when I watch it. Do I think it's happening? Naive me says, no, that's not what they do. It's completely random luck of the draw. But, you watched it. And now, again, if you're only watching the big guys break and the big guys open a lot of product, by default, the odds say they're going to pull, they're going to pull more good stuff.
That's the logic. The logic is I rip 50 times more product than your average breaker, so I have a better shot to pull it. But
But you're ripping that much, your exposure's that much greater, more people are watching you, so more people are going to be talking about you, and it's just going to seem or come off like, oh, they always pull something huge, or like almost like it was set up.
Yeah.
Or put in there. I mean, look, I don't know, guy. If you ever watch Storage Wars, turns out that they filled all those containers with stuff ahead of time. None of that was real fine. So who the hell knows what Topps and Panini are doing?
Yeah, that's definitely true.
They certainly have the ability to with serial numbers and whatever. I would like to believe they know where certain cards are in their cases. But
I'm sure. I am definitely sure. I mean, my question, I don't know if it was ever released as far as where they got the product from. Whether or not Backyard has direct access to distribution, or whether or not they're buying from somebody else. But at the same time, if they're buying from somebody else, I know that like Poleax, for example, does distribution for people, and they're also bigger breakers. So who knows? But it to me, it seemed a little bit coincidental that cases and cases and cases of this stuff was purchased and nothing, and then all of a sudden these guys pulled the card like a week later after the hype died down.
Before I'd go nuts over that, I'd have to see how many did they actually rip. I mean, these guys ripping cases like the
I don't think they rip a ton of really high end product, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Most of the stuff that they do is like a hodgepodge of lower end stuff because their audience isn't really affording those big spots. I mean, obviously what they're doing today is an exception, but a lot of times they rip smaller product.
Yeah, and again, I think coming off the backlash that they got with the T-Law card, and then coming into that video, it just really seems like that's the perception that that was set up. But
yeah, it's their.
I'd like to believe no.
It's their mea culpa. We're fine again. We're okay. We'll pull this big card, and everybody forgets about.
Well, unless they said they were giving it away if they pulled it before they opened. Then they would have backtracked on that.
That is a whole nother rabbit hole in and of itself, which we will not go down.
Nope.
All right, you got anything else on these fools before we move on?
Nope, not going down that path.
All right, fair.
I congratulate them on their following and their hustle.
It's like a 9-year-old child that grounded out to the pitcher. Good hustle. All right, so let's.
They made contact though.
A for effort, participation trophy. We're moving into conference finals for NBA, NHL. We're going to talk a little bit about both of those here. We have Game 7 of Phoenix and Dallas coming up. The winner of that will be playing. Why am I drawing a blank? Golden State. And then the Eastern Conference Finals are already set. It's going to be, actually, no, they're not. I'm sorry. It's Miami, and then Milwaukee and Boston are playing Game 7. To see who makes it. There is massive hobby implications across the board in all of these games. So in the Game 7 of Dallas and Phoenix, you have two different scenarios going on here. You have Luka on one side and you have Booker on the other. And, Luka has seen his stuff slowly dying, I guess you could say, for the most part. The pops are really high on a lot of his cards. His 2018 base Prism PSA 10 down to 388. The pop on that is all the way up to 18,000 and change. So his stuff has bled value. Even his silver has gone down dramatically. Pop on that's 2,100. Has created a little bottom. But I do think if Dallas beats Phoenix, that you're going to see Luka buying. People are going to be trying to get in just because they have not. I don't believe they've gone to the Western Conference Finals as of yet. So it's another step in his career. Dallas potentially could beat Golden State. Golden State didn't just run through Memphis and beat them handily. Memphis gave them a run, especially without Ja. So I think whoever comes out of that series and goes to the finals, we'll see a bump. Luka, I think you'll see a decent surge. Booker has already been surging a bit, so I think that'll continue. But Phoenix was here last year. So maybe not as much as Luka. And God forbid Luka goes to the finals. I think you are going to see people hopping all over his stuff in preparation if, for whatever reason, he wins a ring. And then out of the Eastern Conference, Tatum, I think, is your best bet in regards to what you're buying into. If Boston can win at home, Game 7, I think Tatum stuff continues to go up. I'm just going to bring up, if you look.
Yeah, I mean, he put on a show getting the series tied last night.
Yeah, I mean, that was a massive game. Down 3-2 in Milwaukee, and he drops 30 to help push it to Game 7. If you look, just brought up one of his cards, his Optic Hollow was at 4.25 back in March, and last sale 640, as high as 740. This card mid-season doing almost $1,000. So it's a relatively low pop card. Definitely an opportunity there, especially if they win. Celtics can definitely beat the Heat to go to the finals. They have a lot of talent. So Tatum would be a guy that I'd be looking at as a possibility. Just trying to find his Prism Silver. His Prism Silver PSA 10, 880 back in March, all the way up to almost 2,000 at the end of April, but it did tumble back to like 1,200 last sale. The PSA 9 on this, definitely very affordable. Last sale at 475 with a pop of 460. So I think that Celtics definitely have an opportunity to, if they can beat Milwaukee, I think they can go to the finals. And if they win a championship, I think it's going to be through the roof for Tatum. Same with Booker. Any of these big guys of the future that haven't won a ring yet have massive growth possibilities. Booker, Tatum are the big ones. There's nobody really on the Heat that the hobby really loves. You have Butler, you have Adebayo, you have Tyler Hero. But I don't know how much people really give a shit about these guys.
I don't think anybody collects cards in Florida.
Okay.
How many Marlins cards do you see sell for big bucks?
Oh, how many Marlins players have there been that are worth a damn?
Other than Wander Franco, nobody's worth anything in Florida as far as.
Yeah, look at the history of Tampa Bay and Florida.
No, I know.
But, Butler's Prism Silver PSA 10 Pop 19 still only selling for $2,400.
What year is that?
2012. So
Oh,
buy into
maybe I could buy into that break. And pull it.
buy into Backyard for $4,500. Maybe you can get a $2,400 card. I mean,
I don't think I'd last 5 minutes in that chat.
the raw Butler going for $330. The Prism Silver Raw $330.
So I would need how many of those to make my money back?
Well, you need them to grade out as you need two that grade as 10s in order to make your money back. So I don't think your play, if you're still looking to buy into basketball and guys in the playoffs, would be, in my opinion, Booker, Luka, and Tatum. Giannis. Giannis is tough just because they won the title last year. Obviously, if he wins back-to-backs, that's massive. But anything else is going to be, in my opinion, viewed as a disappointment. And his pops are also starting to creep. His 2013 base Prism PSA 10 is at $1,600. Pops $2,742, and it's been flat for months. And anytime you start looking at silvers, I mean, his silver PSA 10 sold for $27,000. That is probably outside the price range of every single person that listens to this podcast.
Rather have a Mickey Mantle.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of cards you could pick up for $27,000. So that's what I'm looking at as we head into basketball, and then once basketball season's over in a month, then it becomes open season, and we'll probably try to get some. Yeah, then it's football and baseball, but we'll try to get somebody on that can talk basketball rookies when some of the big basketball product comes out for this year's class. Scotty Barnes and Green and some of those other guys. We have said zero about this year's basketball class just because in my opinion, none of the really good products been out. All right, Guy, you want to transition to a little bit of baseball?
Sure, we got our first little minor league player to look at.
Ooh, minor leagues. Is he 13 living in the Dominican Republic?
No, not. I got somebody like that on my fantasy team.
Yeah. I don't know if you
wait for him to get signed.
I understand you don't care about what people think about you, but I don't know if saying you have a 13-year-old child on your fantasy baseball team is something you really want to put out in the public.
Well, if I've never met him, it's fine.
Okay.
But it's my one league. You can I could draft you if I wanted to.
And put you
on my roster. I can literally take anyone on planet Earth. So they could be playing baseball in Saudi Arabia, and I can put them on my roster. And if they ever make it to the MLB, they're mine.
I'm a fantastic singles hitter. Otherwise, I don't have speed to leg anything else out.
Anyway, we're looking at St. Louis Cardinals' own Jordan Walker.
All righty. And what Jordan Walker card are we looking at? Number one. Is Jordan Walker in the bigs? Number two.
Nah, he's first round draft pick from a couple years ago. He's this is his first year at Double-A, and this is where I usually start taking people seriously. Is once they make the transition from High A to Double-A, and depending on what age they are. Now, this is all me. This is my personal way of me evaluating minor leaguers as opposed to using fan graphs and stuff like that. But I look to see
before you move on to that. You mentioned Fangraphs twice. I have no idea what Fangraphs is. So what is it, and how do people get it? How do people access it?
It just has all sorts of data on every player in the world, all sorts of charts and all sorts of grades and all sorts of statistics and analysis for everybody in the world.
Is it? And when you say everybody in the world, are you talking all sports or just baseball or minor league baseball?
I only look at it for, sure enough, I go to the website and Jordan Walker pops right up. But I only look at it for baseball. I honestly don't know if it has other.
Is it free?
I'm sure they have. I don't have an account with them per se. The data I use, I can get all for free. I'm sure they have a premium version that sets it all up.
Okay, so I'm on there right now. This definitely looks like it's baseball only, and they focus a lot on prospects. So if you're looking for a good resource for prospects, it looks like Fangraphs is a good spot. They do have a membership for $5 a month, which will enable you access for ad-free yearly membership.
So ad-free. So all the content's there. It's just getting rid of the ads. But one of the things I like is they have, a lot of the scouts use the 20 to 80 grading tool to rate everyone's, their hitting ability, their game power ability, their raw power ability, their speed, their fielding. They all have a scale. Some of them, not all of them, go to 80, but so right on the top of every player's profile, you'll see their grades, their ranks in each of those categories.
Okay, so if you're super into baseball and you're looking for a good resource for minor league prospects or other prospects, Fangraphs.com. We have no affiliation with them. They're not supported by, they give us no money. It's just a resource that Bunk uses.
Yeah, I like to know if guys are power and speed combos, or if the 10 stolen bases I saw are an anomaly in the minors. I look to go see what their speed grade is by professional scouts, and it's listed. It's all public knowledge. Is this guy a potential 20-20, 30-30 guy at the major league level? I mean, or is it just he stole 10 bases because he got washed up catchers in the minors? I don't know, but that's
little Crash Davis trying to throw him out.
Yeah. That sort of thing. So anyway, with Jordan Walker, he turns 20 next week, but he's already in Double-A. So Double-A as a 19-year-old is a definite green flag. I'm all over that. I can't tell you the number of 24-year-olds raking in high A ball, but why are you still in high A ball? So I totally dismiss you at that point. But a 19-year-old in Double-A, this is his first year where he's made the jump. Long story short, he's made the jump from high A to Double-A at a young age. His strikeout rate is actually improved. His walk rate is improved and at the Double-A level. So I'm taking him more seriously as a prospect. Again, more seriously as a prospect. Baseball regards him as a pretty high prospect. But I still like to feel like I'm doing my own research on it. But we're looking at his Bowman draft Sapphire PSA 10. Very low pop, only 119. And you and I did take a look. There are a couple up right now. So they are up there and out there. The last sale
there are a few. There are 2 10s and 1 9 on eBay right now.
Yeah, from your buddy Probstein, I think.
Yes.
Your boy.
Why is he my boy? Because he. I was gonna make another comment, but I will also keep that to myself.
Save all your comments. So the Sapphire got a pop of 119. Last sale 247, and then another low pop if you just want his base Bowman Chrome. It only has a pop of 103. I'm actually surprised by this. I'm not quite sure why there's only 103 of these graded. And the last sale on that was $80. And on him since March, it's either gone down or stayed exactly the same. So at some point, people are going to start noticing his numbers in Double-A, and I think that's going to start trending northward. Now, again, this is someone who is not going to be in the majors this year. You're not going to get that spike going up. But even in minor league settings, a guy who's made the jump from A to Double-A and starts raking and articles start coming out on him, all of a sudden, these cards that are still selling pretty well because everyone regards him as a high prospect, they start taking their initial jumps where they'll take their, over the summer jumps as everyone turns all focus onto baseball. So this is the kind of way I look at it, putting away long-term prospects to hold for a while to make some money and also to flip right away once people start turning their attention all to baseball.
Okay, so and then can I completely catch you off guard with a question that we did not talk about before? I did notice there's been some positive and negative press about Jasson Dominguez. So I'm curious as far as, what's your take on Dominguez right now? Obviously, he's been the biggest prospect people are looking forward to coming to the majors, but some people are saying that he's been struggling in low A or whatever league he's in right now. So what are you hearing? What are you thinking about that?
I think it's a lot of things. That you are literally you're on the Yankee hype train, so the hype is through the roof. The Yankees do this to all their prospects. It's no secret to anybody. But his all in all, from what I'm seeing, and one of the big things you heard me talk about it with Jordan Walker, I'm looking at strikeout rates. That's what I look at. And if you want to compare anybody, if you want to use Wander Franco as like the gold standard check out Wander Franco's minor league strikeout rates.
Ooh.
just
Can I please look at Wander Franco's minor league strikeout rates?
Yeah, you want to make money in baseball, you better start looking at it.
All right. So school me. I mean, does Dominguez compare to Franco as far as being on the same level in regards to
Not
strikeout
even close. Dominguez strikes out at such a ridiculous rate, strikeout rate compared to Wander. They're not even close to similar prospects in that regard. But listen, everyone develops at different rates and stuff like that. But so far, what I'm seeing, this is Jasson's second year in high A ball, and through only 26 games, he's hitting for a lower average. He appears that he's cut down the strikeouts a little bit, but he's not walking more either. Power, okay, great. He's got as many doubles as last year in 70 fewer bats, but he's still trailing in home runs and others. So it doesn't look like he's making tremendous strides. Now, I'm sure there's other metrics out there that are going to paint him in a more positive light, but from the casual fan perspective and a couple of the simple non-advanced metrics I'm looking at, it doesn't look good right now for him. But listen, he's young.
Yeah, he's 18.
A lot can change. Like I said, everyone develops at their own rate. So
yeah, I mean, but at this point, how old? Wander's what, 21?
Yeah,
he's 20. He's 20.
Dominguez should still be 19.
Literally just turned 21. So, I mean, the question is, how much is he going to develop in the next 18 months?
To put him as a superstar prospect, to put him in Wander's Franco's category, probably very unlikely.
Yeah, and to me, if I'm spending huge dollars on Dominguez, that's
people already spend huge dollars on Dominguez. That's the thing. At this point, you can get a lot of his stuff at a decent price. If you're still a believer in him, they're way off 18 months ago when his first cards started coming out.
Yeah, so, I know that.
I mean, do I think he's a terrible buy? No, but if say some popular card of him was coming out or being released, I would say, yeah, what we were paying for Yankee PYDs in Bowman Chrome that year was absurd compared to what he's produced on the field.
Yeah, and it's definitely something to keep it on the radar. Because if he starts playing better, you obviously could see stuff go up, or if he continues to play crappy, it's definitely people are going to lose faith in that and could potentially provide buying opportunity. But at the same time, he just turned 19. He's got probably 2 to 3 years max before people are going to want to see him in Major League Baseball in some capacity. If he's not there, I mean, hobby wise, that's going to be a massive disappointment.
Yeah, agreed. So to your point is huge. So that's just it. If he's not making his Major League debut by 22 years old, and he's just kind of still 260, 12 home runs, and all of a sudden he's 24, 25, and he's Jarren Duran, and for Red Sox prospect, you can look up later.
Like, who the fuck are you talking about?
I mean, it's not you're not getting excited about making any money off him.
Yeah,
but if he's the next great lead us to 12 World Series titles, play center field every day Yankee guy, then maybe you're a hardcore collector. You super collect them.
I mean, that's the next 12 months, probably going to be next 12 to 15 months are probably going to be a massive indication. If he doesn't make strides this year and get promoted to AA ball by next year and then AAA the following year, I mean, that's going to be. I mean, there's going to be a lot of angry people.
I mean, listen, he's in the Florida State League. That is well known for being a very pitching dominant. It is a tough place to hit well in. So I think if he's making some strides at the plate, I think they will push him along a little bit, but they're not going to overmatch him at this point because that'll just regress him. So if he by the end of this year, if he's making strides, maybe they get him a late this season call up to the next level. Then so be it. But I don't think you're going to see them rush him. The Yankees have no interest in rushing any prospect, nor do they have to rush any.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are sitting
other markets where you're
sitting in first place right now, and Stanton and Judge are hitting bombs every day. So it's not like you really need to rush somebody along to get them up.
Yeah, no. But from a purely card collecting standpoint, it's not the first person I'm searching every day in my searches anymore, and it was for a while.
I still
get the eBay search of Jasson every day because I plugged it in 2 years ago when his stuff started coming out. But I made a ton of money on COMC off of him after he first released. I bought all this cheap stuff, and then as the hype train built, people just kept buying it. And
Yeah, well,
I don't think I have any left, but
we definitely bought in and are sitting on some stuff that probably is 20 to 30%
but it's not high
down.
end. The stuff that you had picked up is like the perfect stuff to pick up. It wasn't crazy through the roof, but it's got high reward if he pans out.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the way we usually like to do things: low risk, high reward. Minimize the downside possibilities. Alrighty, you have any other topics or items of any kind you would like to talk about this week?
Okay, should I?
I don't know. You tell me.
What are we at? I was looking at some Gypsy Queen baseballs coming out next Friday, 2022.
Are we excited about Gypsy Queen?
I was looking at the rookie cards to see who was in there. Wander's got one of those Wanders in parentheses rookie cards. So technically that should mean it doesn't have the rookie card logo on it. So that would surprise me if that's true. No Bobby Witt base rookie card. No Julio Rodriguez base rookie card. Although Bobby Witt will have an auto in it. But otherwise, not too excited.
Yeah,
I do, however, like the design quite a bit. I got to say that for Gypsy Queen.
Next week you have leaf stitches and slabs. You have President's Choice Hockey, Upper Deck Golf, Top Sterling Baseball, Top Stadium Club Soccer, his 2022 Historic Autographs, the Washington Chronicles. That could be some serious Bunk boner jams right there, depending on what's in that.
I've bought into some of that kind of product before, and like little. I can't remember how we broke down, but it was like I call it random teams. But
the Washington Chronicles has 6 George Washington autograph cards, full signature, and 3 with his last name only, and 1 card with a piece of his hair.
What?
There are nearly 500 authentic GW handwriting sample cards, 1550 Washington touched documents, relics, as well as vintage coins, cards, challenge coin cards, vintage stamp cards, die-cut monument cards, and Washington family tree lenticular cards. I don't even know what a lenticular card is.
I usually think of those as being like 3D-ish. I don't know if you Google lenticular what it comes up as, but
I'm scared. Lenticular, shaped like a lentil, especially being bicoat. Oh, geez, I don't know what that word means either. Okay, so it's like shaped like a lens, basically.
Okay, so that's why I said 3D. It has like a little...
Yeah, it's that like weird... Yeah, weird, like almost you turn it and the thing changes.
It moves. It looks like it's moving. Yeah.
So this is $2,500 a box. Oh, no, I'm sorry. $2,500 a case with 24 boxes in the case.
So that'll be nice. I'm gonna have to see if someone's breaking that. I would definitely buy
That's what I said. There's some serious boner jams in there for you.
That's history.
Yeah. So let's see what else we got next week. There is Topps Gypsy Queen, Panini Prism College Draft Picks Basketball, Onyx Vintage Baseball, and that's it.
Got me Googling this leaf stitches and slabs. I actually haven't heard of this till just now.
Yeah, it's baseball.
That's what I figured.
$348 a box. 1 autographed custom jersey and 1 slabbed buyback card per box. That's interesting.
Okay, yeah. I feel like this has been out before. But I see that, yeah. Well, I mean, that's pretty much our product is dog shit. But if we put a slab of an iconic card chase in it, you'll buy it. I mean, that's pretty much my take on that.
Something like that. You get a 3-box case for $1,000. Yeah, and the jerseys are not real teams, so that's the other problem too. They don't have the licenses. So like the Vlad auto is literally just a white jersey that says Guerrero Jr. on the back with his number.
Yeah,
Blue Jays or anything.
Disgusting.
Else.
Yeah, I think I've seen these. I think people try to sell these things all the time. I'm like, that is the most disgusting card I've ever seen.
Yeah, and if you look at the other pictures, there's like a Jeter BGS 9. There's an authentic Juan Soto auto on a card, but the card's not graded. Yeah, it's
like a huge repack, guy. I mean, that's what it is. A huge repack with a crap product to get you to buy it.
Yeah, I mean, it's Leaf. What do you expect?
Yeah, no, I know.
And people like to chase Leaf though, just because it's cheap and there's autos in it. You can get
Are you
autos.
kidding me?
Players.
People chase those slabs.
Yeah.
100% people go after those slabs.
Yep.
Because a half a case break will actually not be a terrible price. You're going to get some cards anyway, and then you might hit the you might hit the slab.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, for $1,000, just put that into 32 teams. You're paying $30 to get in, and you have the potential to win something decent anyway.
100%. Yeah. See, that's despite it being crap. Like, I don't like the look of it, and I wouldn't collect it. But that if I'm itching for a break, that seems like good value.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd rather take a $30 shot at a slab than a $4,500 shot at a card I'm gonna have to go slab myself and maybe make my money back on it.
Would you like to take any final parting shots at the $4,500 break?
I'm just saying, it's not bad. Listen, you got the money. If I had that kind of money, I'd buy a spot in that break too, just for fun. Gambling on a spectrum. That's all it is.
Guy, if you spent $4,500 on a break, you'd be single and living in a motel.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Even if I wasn't married, I spent $4,500 break, I'd probably have to go to a hotel.
Actually, I'll retract that statement. You may not be alive if you spend $4,500 on a break. The wife would possibly murder you.
Well, honey, we got Matsui.
If Matsui played basketball in 2012, that'd be fantastic. All right, anyway, on that note, we are done. Next week, we will be back. Hopefully, Bunk will decide to join us again, and we'll continue to build up a new streak of him deciding to participate in the podcast.
A winning streak.
Yes, that is what you call a winning streak. And on that note, you have any final parting shots?
No, I didn't take any shots at anyone today.
Of course not. Never.
We didn't even talk about grading today.
Yeah, I know. That's like a miracle. That's like maybe the first time that's happened in God knows how long. All right. Anyway, just a quick final hit. Go to sportscardadvantage.com. Also, if you want to participate in the contest, leave us a review, Apple or Spotify, screenshot it, send it to info@sportscardadvantage.com. And then sometime over the next, couple of weeks, we're going to be working on some shirts. We're going to be putting those out on the website, and probably give away some of those on the pod, and then also bring some of those to the national to give away to anybody that wants to meet up in person. This isn't going to be like brand shirts. We're actually going to try to do some fun hobby related shirts. So, because I don't know how many of you want to rep our brand, but we're going to try to do some fun stuff with that. All right, we are done. Thank you all for listening, and we will see you next week.